kings, we pound for pound. UFC thrills, stills nights get loud. Big EQB, that's how we get down.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of GRP. Back at it again on a Thursday and ready to go talk about some UFC Baku. Right on, Antoine. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, and we are here. It's been a weird day, man. It's been a weird day. Oh man, work was weird. Everything was weird today. And on top of all that, it starts just storming out of nowhere. One of my dogs is freaking out. I almost completely flipped my couch trying to get him out of a small spot because we have those reclining couches, and he finds these little spots and he gets stuck. And so he's not a tiny dog, but he's a smaller dog, and man, he's just freaking out. He hates the thunder and lightning and the rain, and he's freaking out, and I almost flipped the couch trying to get him out of there. I could hear him struggling, and I'm just trying not to hurt him, but also get him out. It was a goddamn nightmare. And then on top of all that, it's everything spanned from that, and things just well, there's a new one. There's nothing to get with me there, but we'll just call you Men's. What's up, Men's? Yeah, so everything just spanned from there, and it's I'm missing things, I'm searching for things, I'm going nuts trying to find everything, I'm running behind. It's just holy shit. It's just been a hectic ass evening, I guess. But yeah, now we're here and I get to talk about what I like to talk about, which is obviously MMA, combat sports, the UFC, everything like that. I just wanted to take a break from trying to get you. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for coming in and not just trying to get me all the time, but actually participating as well, because that's what makes it even more funny. Because when I see a name and then I'm just like, oh shit, it's one of these again. At least it's funny and you still contribute, so I appreciate that. But yeah, we got UFC Baku this week, and I just realized that the 4th of July is coming up, and that means no fights next weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with some other kind of content, which I kind of already have some ideas. I know I talked about getting a lot of pictures together. Hey mom, how are you? I talked about getting a lot of pictures together of all the fighters that I've met and stuff like that. So I actually kind of started on that coincidentally because I was looking for some other pictures. So that might be part of the content for next week. I wanted to talk about the ranking system this week, but I'm not sure I'm going to break it all. Maybe I'll leave that for next week. We'll see how it changes or what happens and do some comparisons. I did have some stuff up, but I kind of forgot to prep it. I don't know why. I wasn't falling behind on my prep, but for some reason things were just weird. So I guess I was just forgetting things this week. It is what it is. But yeah, so we are here. Luckily the storm has stopped because my electricity went out four times. And I was like, great, I'm not going to be able to do the show tonight because if the damn storm keeps up and the lights keep going out, nothing's going to stay up. The internet's going to be going in and out. So then I thought about maybe I just turn on my hotspot and hope for the best, but everything seemed to calm down. So hopefully we have no interruptions. Hopefully nothing else crazy happens and we can get through the show. All is good. What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for jumping back in. Appreciate you.
What's happening with you, man?
What's happening with you, man? Greg Maddox, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is another one of those hats that I got for Father's Day. Somewhat simple, but I like it's got the tomahawk right. Oh, my camera just went out of focus. It's got the tomahawk right there. The smaller A. It's got the baseball logo in the back. It's kind of a different style hat. It's a fitted hat, but it's not like the heavy duty type. It's more of a different material, but it's nice. So, like I said, I got a few hats for Father's Day, so I'll definitely be bringing those out as we go. I got a nice one for 4th of July, so you'll see that one a week from today. Since the 4th of July is on Saturday, I'll do the show on Thursday still, and I'll just have some different kind of content, and we'll talk about whatever else we can, any other things popping up in combat sports and MMA. But other than that, yeah, you'll see a nice hat for that one too. Also, dude, I wanted to ask you, what was one time you got something that broke and it pissed you off and you had to replace it? Oh my God, I couldn't even begin to tell you how many things. Multiple vehicles, we'll say that, because I had very bad luck with cars back in the day, and I was broke, so I had to deal with whatever I got. And then when I couldn't fix it, yeah, that was the worst part. It always felt like life was over when the car broke down, and I hated it. But other than that, anything in this room breaks and I'm pissed. I'll tell you that right now. Because I did a damn update. Well, my computer automatically updated when I went to turn it off last night and after my prep. And I've done that in the past like couple times and it hasn't affected anything, right? But I'm always weary about doing updates because I've had plenty of times in the past. If you've been here for a while and watched the show for a while, you've probably seen some of the technical difficulties that usually span from updates. And yeah, I did it last night without even thinking twice. And then today I jump in here and I'm checking things out, turning everything on. And all of a sudden, a lot of things aren't the way they're supposed to be. My mic's not working in OBS. I had to fix that. I was hitting some of the buttons like these that I normally hit.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that wasn't working. I was checking all the settings and all of the prep that I did last night, and all those were wrong for where audio plays and stuff. That's usually what happens when you do an update. Audio goes crazy and it's annoying as shit. So I had to fix all that. That's part of the problem with the things going wrong this afternoon. So luckily we got it all sorted out. So I'll quit complaining and just be happy that everything's working. Hopefully everything sounds good out there. I noticed that the intro music and the beginning of the show and stuff like that were sounding very low. I don't know why. I guess somehow it got turned down. So I fixed that. Hopefully it sounds a little better now. But here we are. It's been a while since I've had some big problems, so I'm glad that I was able to just kind of fix things back up. But that's my biggest thing, besides vehicles not working or some kind of big appliance or something. Anything in this room stops working and I'm pissed because then I know it's going to be time and to take to try to fix everything, or it's going to be expensive. So yeah, let's hope for none of that in the near future. Hopefully I can start upgrading things and replacing things before they decide to give out. Because it has been a minute that I've had a lot of this stuff, but I'm happy it's still running strong, and I try to take care of it the best I can. So yeah, other than that, let's get to giving a shout out to the sponsor as usual. We got to shout out Noctane, and we got to take a nice big whiff of some smelling salt to get myself going, wake myself up a little bit from all this bullshit. And yeah, let's take a nice big whiff. Oh, there it is. Oof, delayed. It didn't hit right away, and then I took another whiff, and there it was. Oh, I think my nose has been kind of jacked up ever since I got sick. It's been off and on, stuffy, runny nose, crap like that, stupid cough every once in a while. I'm just hoping that it all goes away soon. And yeah, it's like still hanging around for some reason, but this does help a little bit with clearing up the nose. And yeah, if you're interested, there's the QR code on the screen. There's a link in the description below. As always, you can go check out their website. It's pretty informative. There's 3 different potencies. I always talk about that. The cap tells you the potency. Red is the most potent, which I always get. Black is the mid-range. White's the entry level. They have different scents you can add to it, and their website's cool to look at too. And if you go down to the main page, all the way at the bottom, it says proudly sponsoring Going Rounds podcast. That's me. So it's pretty cool. But they have a really great website too, so you can learn all about things over there. So go check that out. And if you're interested, buy yourself a bottle. It's it's affordable, and it's good. It's a good product. So thank you, Noctane, for the sponsorship as usual. And oops, there we go. All right. Other than that, yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot else going on. Shorter week next week because of 4th of July, and again, no fights next week, but I will still do a podcast. And yeah, hopefully I'll have some good different kind of content for you. And we'll just talk about anything else going on in the world of combat sports and MMA. We have some stuff to talk about today. Like I said, I was going to talk about the ranking stuff, but if anybody's interested and wants to bring it up and talk about it, we can. I'm sure somebody's going to jump in the chat at some point and ask if I had seen it. So maybe we'll touch on it here when that happens. But other than that, I want to talk about this first, because it's a little bit of a serious topic, but also kind of funny in the midst of all of everything that happened, but also just something that's interesting to talk about, because it has to do with a fighter and a retired fighter at that. And I'm sure you've heard about it by now. Antoine, what's going on, man? Welcome back. Thank you for answering my question about that. I had a bottle of cologne that my mom bought me, and I dropped it at work. It shattered. It really messed. Oh yeah, those types of things. Yeah. There, I was talking about materialistic things, except for the vehicle stuff. That's your means of getting around. That makes life very difficult. So that's why those kinds of things make me super angry, because it's going to be expensive. And if I can't fix it myself, which I will try, but if I can't fix it myself, then you're out of a vehicle for a while, and it's just like it's tough. I think it was sentimental value because it made me so emotional. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. There's definitely been things like that. I can't pinpoint them at the moment, but there's definitely been things like that I've been like, holy shit, I can't believe I just messed that up. And yeah, it's tough, man. It sucks. It really does suck. So I'm sorry that happened for you, man. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say except for I'm sorry. That sucks. And yeah, when it's sentimental value and shit like that, it's even worse. So hopefully you're doing all right after that, man. But yeah, speaking of kind of emotional stuff and shit like that, we'll get into things here. And it's starting with Dustin Poirier got arrested on Father's Day, which is unfortunate, got arrested for public intoxication. So when I first saw this, I'm like, thankfully it's not a DUI, obviously, because then, you put other people at risk. You put yourself at risk, and there's definite, like, strong consequences for that, especially depending on where you are, you know what I mean? And it's just never good for the DUI stuff. But and so I see public intoxication, and I start to think, okay, did he do anything? What was the cause of him getting arrested? Why would he have to get arrested for being intoxicated publicly? Plenty of people do that. But a lot of times people get crazy when they get drunk, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I don't even like getting that drunk anymore, because not only do I feel like shit for days after, but just I used to act a fool sometimes, and I hated it, so I stopped that as much as I could. And as Antoine's talking about, I just want to stay in control of my emotions, because I know as a man, composure is key. That's true, man, but you're allowed to feel your emotions as well. And you just got to find the right people or person that you can show your emotions to. For me, that's my wife. That's why I'm grateful for her. And I know not everybody has a significant other of any sort, and but you got friends, and if you can't open up to them, then sometimes you just got to do it alone. And that's fine. It's okay to feel emotions. It's just a matter of time and place, and maybe as a man, that's what you mean. Composure is key. Keeping it in check until it's the right time or place is key for a man, for anybody really. But I feel like Conor McGregor when I get drunk. See, I'm saying, man, that's what I'm saying. I used to be the same way. I felt like Conor McGregor when I got drunk back in the day. And yeah, some shit just would go down all the time. And I'm very lucky that I never got into big trouble because of it, because I definitely did some real dumb shit back in the day. But I learned from all that, and I feel like I'm the one that keeps it together the most out of anybody I know, for the most part, unless people just are simply not drinking. But yeah, I just don't like doing that anymore. And so I was wondering like what happened here, you know, and of course we didn't get word right away, but then we did. And when we did get word, it's kind of funny, honestly, but then I also feel bad for Dustin at the same time, not for any other reason than it sucks that he was in this situation. It's a bad day for him. And a lot of people had a lot of criticism towards him, and I understand it also, because when you're intoxicated in public and you're acting a fool, you're gonna get some shit talked about you, and it is what it is. You kind of deserve it, but at the same time, you know, people have bad days and do crazy shit. It's just a matter of how far you take it, and it's always a hope that you don't take it too far. And luckily for how dangerous Dustin Poirier can be, it didn't go as far as it could have. And I'm thankful for that, because I feel like Dustin's a good dude, and I know a lot of people think that, oh, maybe in the background he's not that good of a dude. Maybe this shows a different side of him that, you know, maybe shows that he's not a good person or something like that. But I just think it was a bad day, an off day. And I think that with the things he said afterwards, I feel like he's one of those guys that that doesn't usually allow himself to get to this point in the public eye. And you know, it seems like he regrets it. So but we'll get to that part. Let's watch the video. Oh my God, hold on. And I do feel kind of bad because I'm always having a drink, right? But for me, having one drink while I do the show, it lasts, what, an hour and a half? Sometimes I don't even finish the drink before the show's over because I'm too busy talking. But I have this drink because I can have a drink and not have to like continue to drink. You know what I mean? I can have one drink and I'm good to go. A lot of people aren't that way, and I understand it. I never used to be that way. I used to, you know, want to drink way more than that, and it's fine, but you have to be able to stay composed, and you have to be able to make decent decisions, and this stuff doesn't allow you to do that a lot of times. So I look like a hypocrite talking about this while I have a drink, but listen, I've dealt with all the bad shit that comes with it, and I've gotten to a point where I can have a drink and be okay. And so if you can't do that, then it's best that you don't drink. You know what I'm saying? 500 proof alcohol is the best. What are you doing in the fort this year? I don't have anything planned yet, man. Honestly, haven't even thought of it. Don't have anything planned yet. Kind of forgot it was coming up soon, so we'll see. But let's watch this video. I'm sure if you guys have seen it already, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen it, it's a little funny. But here we go.
Let's go, big dog.
What's going on?
What's up? Bunch of hoes. Let's go. Let's go.
Relax.
No, they fucking lying motherfuckers. Yeah, pull me off the plane. All my boys went to the fucking crib. Now what the fuck?
So as you can see already, you know, you could tell he's fucked up, right? Because he's calling them hoes. I hear you going to in and out on the 4th of July. So yeah, you could tell already he's lit, right? And then he starts talking nonsense about his boys going to the crib, and he's in an airport. I didn't know this at first until the video came out, obviously, but it's like this lady's pissed, as you can see, the one with the white sleeves in the background, because he's calling them hoes and talking shit. And you know, he comes at the cop pretty aggressively right away, and the cop handled it well. Obviously, we'll find out in a minute that you know, it's because he knows. So let's just keep watching.
And this is why he got
all right. You Dustin Poirier?
Man, fuck you, bro.
And I've seen so many videos from that part. I'm sorry to be the guy that keeps pausing, but it's hilarious because he's like, hey man, you Dustin Poirier? He's all, fuck you, bro. So many videos have been made from this shit because that's the funny part. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's not funny that he's approaching an officer that way or security. I don't really know. I believe it's an officer, like an actual cop, but maybe just the airport cops. I don't know. But for him to be approaching them like that is already reckless, right? And then for all he's asking is, are you Dustin Poirier? And he's like, man, fuck you, bro. That's how you know he's just drunk. He's not realizing what he's doing. He's just going off. So let's keep going.
Man, fuck you and fuck her and fuck her. I'll fight you right now.
No, I don't want to fight, bro.
I'll go with you right now.
Bro, I don't want to fight, bro. I don't want to fight.
Let's go.
Man, you can hear in the cop's voice, he knows who he is. He knows what he can do. And he's like, damn, nah, man, I don't want to fight you. I had asked Connor, you Connor McCoy. And he said, fuck you. That's what I'm saying. So many memes, so many videos have been made already, and it's fucking hilarious, man. And I hate to you know, you got to find some light in all situations, and some of this shit is just funny. Classic Dustin Poirier. Look at him. He's hiking up his shorts. That's what he does when he's about to fight. And so it's a little, I think that was airport security. Yeah, I think so too. But you know, they're still of authority of some sort. You know what I'm saying? So like, for him to be hiking up his shorts, man, if you know Dustin, if you know when it comes to Dustin Poirier, he's hiking up those shorts, you better fucking watch out. So a kick might be coming your way here in just a second, but you never know. So let's keep going.
I want to fight.
Let's go.
Radio, have you?
Yeah, tell him, come on.
Get a couple of
because it's gonna be bad,
bro. Just
it's gonna be bad, my nigga.
No, bro.
Ooh, that Louisiana came out. That's all I can say. According to Daniel Cormier, they went to the same high school, and this isn't this isn't an excuse for him. I'm not making it, but this is what Daniel Cormier said. They went to the same high school, and like 95% of that school was black guys, black people, basically. Bradley Martin would have agreed to that challenge. So yeah, so that's what DC said. And so, you know, sometimes, you know, people just kind of people just kind of adapt to their situations they're in and adopt some of the lingo. That's all I can really say. I haven't seen too many people be too angry with Dustin about this, but you know, it is something that gets a lot of people in trouble when they say it. And yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it, but it is what it is. Listen, if you're offended, I'm sorry. I didn't say it. Dustin did. I found it funny because it's just like in the process of what he's not doing it in a malicious way. It was just something he said. I don't even know what to say about it without having somebody get mad in general. So it, you know, and I don't feel strongly about it either way. It's just, it is what it is. So let's keep going.
What's up?
Bro, relax.
You want to fight?
Ooh, grabbing the taser.
Wait, start several units. Start several units.
How you
No,
boys not gonna fight something? That's pussy.
bro.
That's pussy, boy. You pussy.
Bro, relax, bro.
You gonna tase
Relax.
Ooh, you can hear that. You can hear that taser charging up, man. Well, and obviously he's walking towards him. He already took his bag off. So for Dustin to bring up a fight, do you think he just really misses fighting? I think so. I think so. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's drunk. The owners of Popeyes wasn't happy with Dustin.
Bruh.
Oh my God. Yeah, I honestly think this is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, his second nature is fighting. So like, it's a drunk spiral because he misses fight. Yeah, he says it himself, you know, and we'll get to that because I do have a statement from him, you know, that he posted. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But I definitely think that, I mean, that's his first course of action because he doesn't like what's happening. But the guy came up to him nicely, and that's the problem. He came up to him nicely, and he said, you know, he knew right away who he was. He wasn't arguing with him. He didn't come up to him aggressively, you know, but he's a figure of authority to Dustin, and Dustin knows what's happening here. So he's already pissed, and he doesn't have his full capacity of control over himself. And yeah, that's self-inflicted. I understand that, but you know, I'm just stating the facts here. This is a scene out of a movie after the main character retires from fighting. 100%. This is like, you know, it's stereotypical fighter behavior, you know. Dustin knows the Trunken style. He sure the fuck does.
Relax, bro.
You gonna tase me, nigga?
Relax.
Bro, I'm gonna bang you up.
Bro, relax.
I'll bang you up.
How many good one?
Just relax.
Give me a good one.
See, and so I was wondering there, he says, give me a good one. Like, does he want him to tase him? Or is he saying, like, hit me, give me a good one? I don't know which one he's asking for right there. It's kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And then here comes the big boy.
They kicked him off the
Bunch of
flight.
hoes,
This
bro.
guy's a UFC
Bitch
fighter.
ass
So.
fucking bitches.
You know.
What's going on, brother? Talk to me. Man, the bitch is fucking lying hoes, man.
And then he keeps calling the women bitches and hoes and saying they're lying and shit. Oh, man.
Arrest me. All right, let's go. Let's go.
And then he just says, arrest me.
Let's go. Arrest me. That's the best way, dog.
See, it's like the moment of reality kicked in right here where he's like, okay, hold on. Now I'm seeing a couple different cops. They're coming up to me. No one's being aggressive. Am I being stupid? You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I think I fucked up. That's what's happening with him right now. He's realizing what's happening. He's realizing what's going on. He sees the guy in front of him with a taser in his hand, and he's lucky he didn't get tased already. And you know, and he sees this other big ass motherfucker come over, and he's just like talking to him. The guy approaches him, you know, decently. That's the biggest thing. I give these guys props for not coming up to him crazy, because if it would have been any random person, I guarantee somebody would have came up, probably tackled his ass or had tased him already, if not worse. So I appreciate the security guys or cops or whatever they actually are for approaching the situation this way, because obviously don't want to see Dustin go down like that. I don't even like seeing this, but there is funny aspects to this, and so we do have to find light in some of it, because I just hope that he gets help and that he's okay. It's not going to be a reoccurring thing. But, you know, at least he's not in a bar punching an old man for no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? We've seen that too many times from Conor McGregor. At least he's not driving a car, wrapping it around a tree with some fucking strippers in it, or escorts or anything like that, or crashing into other vehicles and injuring pregnant women and fleeing the scene. At least he's not doing those things. You know what I'm saying? He got belligerent on a plane. They kicked him off, and then he got, you know, crazy with the people in the airport. And then he just relinquished himself to the security and said, hey, just arrest me. Dustin want to fight with the stun gun involved. Jolie had him sleeping on the couch when he got home.
Hey, pound it.
All right, man.
Nah, you did a great job, bro. You did a great job. You did what you could.
Let's go, big dog. Did what you could, he said. But see, that's what I'm saying. He realized he had a moment of reality. He realized what was happening, what was going on. He realized he was wrong and that he was probably in some trouble. And instead of making it worse, he decided, listen, I'm gonna do the right thing. Hey, just to fucking arrest me. Like, it's better that way. He told him, he's all, it's better this way. This is the right way. And then he, you know, gave the dude props. Basically, what I would assume in his brain at the moment was, you did the best you could, as in, listen, man, you came about it right. You approached me the right way. I'm the one being stupid here. You know what I mean? So that shows promise in the fact that Dustin doesn't want to do this all the time. He's not going to be this guy. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate what those cops did and how they handled it. And man, it could have been so much worse. And that's one thing I know, and that's one thing I've always told my kids, especially now that they've, you know, been, you know, my daughter just flew to San Diego, and she's she's been flying a lot this year by herself. Well, she went with her girlfriend this time, but you know, she's been on a plane a lot this year in the past few months. So I tell them all the time, I said, don't fuck around in the airport, don't fuck around on the plane. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what up, Tyler Fish? Imagine the promos Josh Hokett would have said if that was him. Hey, congratulations, Tyler. That's fucking awesome, man. Congrats. I'm happy for you. That's good. Graduated from high school, right? So shit, what are you doing next? You know what I mean? I know you were like in trying to do some like trade work, mechanic stuff, heavy machinery, if I remember correctly. So are you continuing with school, or are you just gonna roll right into the trade? What's going on, man? Have you ever missed a flight before? No, thankfully. I got an apprenticeship. Hell yeah, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. For trucking coach technician. Okay. Yeah, man, that's badass. I'm happy for you. It's good to hear when people, you know, follow through with school. You know, it's up to you if you want to keep that school going or move on to a career of sorts. But, you know, I don't know. I press my kids to go to college, but, you know, it's always up to the person. So, yo, what's good, brother? My B-day was Tuesday. I'm doing it like a white girl and still turning up. Hope you're doing. Hey, happy birthday, Xavier. Happy birthday, man. I hope you had a good one. It's awesome to know that you're still you're still enjoying it, man. That's cool. Yeah, it's like when me being an older guy, it's just like my birthday happens and it's just like cool. I'm in college. It's like an apprenticeship with school. Oh, hell yeah, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. I hope it all works out for you, and you get to do what you're wanting to do, because that's the most important thing. Do something you want to do. So if you're passionate about it, keep it going, man. And congratulations, and I hope the best for you, and hopefully you keep us updated, and let us know what's going on as much as you can, and any other accomplishments, man. That's awesome. Thanks for telling us too. That's fucking cool. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. And Xavier, happy birthday again, man. That's badass. But yeah, Dustin, so this is what he said. This picture, man, holy shit. He said, though, I'm at a point where I need some help. Walking away from fighting hasn't been easy on me, and alcohol isn't the answer. It has ruined my father's life, and I will not allow it to ruin mine. My family deserves me at 100%. I'm trying to do everything I can to get my mind right and take the right next steps. It was like that, bro. I get it, but fuck that. Haha, my girl and kid got to turn up every day. I get a week. Hell yeah, Xavier. Hey, you do your thing, man. That's cool. Yeah, I feel bad for Dustin too, and I'm glad to hear him say these things, because like Dustin seems like the type of dude to not just say this because he wants to save face. Like I said, at the end of that video, you can see that like reality kicked in a little bit, and the alcohol still has a hold of him, but reality kicked in enough for him to say some things that made sense. And like I said, he kind of just turned himself in and just told the other guy, hey, you did the best you could, and fist bumped him, and that was cool. He's asking for help. He needs something. He needs help. Something is wrong for sure. It sucks, yo. All he has to do is just chill out and work the UFC desk. That mugshot, oh dude, the mugshot was bad, man. I don't know if it was just because of him coming off of being so drunk, or if he was actually crying and that's why his eyes were so bloodshot and watery. Because I mean, I've had plenty of nights where I've been so drunk that like when I start to sober up, my eyes get so bad, or I wake up the next morning with a horrible hangover and my eyes are like that. But it was a sad ass mugshot, man. It really was. Just to see Dustin like that, he's done so many things. He's got his his foundation, all that stuff, man. All the good things we've seen him do, and we've seen him get crazy with Connor because of the things Connor said. But bro, nah, he knew in the drunk tank he fucked up. Yeah, more than likely, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm just surprised to see him like this. You think it's CTE or just inner? I just think it's inner demons, man. He said himself, I'm at the point where I need some help. Walking away from fighting hasn't been as easy on me, and alcohol isn't the answer. That's the thing, is you're not doing the thing that you love anymore, the thing that you're used to. He's not in fight camps anymore. Adam Sandler in The Hustle, yeah, 100%. He's wrong, but it doesn't mean he can't be better, for sure. And I think that he's I think 100% he's the type of dude that will work at getting better, because he's got little kids too, man, and I think he cares. We've seen how much he cares about his daughter, and I think he's got a brand new son too. So I think he's gonna get he's already saying he needs the help, so I think he's gonna get the help he needs, and he'll be better. And it would be cool if he could just be okay with working the desk, but he's a fighter, man. He's a fighter through and through. I don't know if you ever seen the documentary from back in the day of his come up and stuff like that. He's been through a lot of hard times and a lot of hard shit, and fighting was his outlet, and now he doesn't have it, so he's not used to having to deal with everyday life without having that outlet of training for something, for some purpose. You know what I mean? Maybe he just feels like he doesn't have some purpose right now, and that's what he needs help with. And sometimes you get a little crazy. You go somewhere on a vacation, you have a little too much to drink, shit happens. Like I said, I've done stupid shit in the past too, but it's just a matter of how you handle the situation, how you bounce back, and if you learn from it. And that's the biggest thing. I got a daughter I'd sacrifice everything for, but that doesn't mean I've made the right decision. Exactly, Xavier. That's how I feel too. I've got 2 daughters, and I've done the best I can for them as they've grown up. But I've definitely made plenty of mistakes. I've definitely had my drunken, rage nights of being an asshole because I'm drunk, and maybe it didn't get as far as I've known other people to get as far in. but definitely made my mistakes during those times. And you just make bad decisions when you're drunk. Not everybody can be a happy-go-lucky, dance everywhere, and then pass out type of drunk. You know what I mean? I've seen various different types of people and how they handle their alcohol, and how well they do with it and how well they don't do with it. And that's what's made me learn to get to the point that I'm at. And I know my limits to a certain extent, because like I said, I've done plenty of dumb shit. If you don't believe you have demons, I'm scared for you. I just turned 35. I'm great, man, but I'm also a piece of shit. I think we all feel that way at some point in time. If you don't feel like you're a piece of shit at some point or another, yeah, it's weird. For me, maybe that's just a fucked up way of coming up, but I understand the point of I'm also a piece of shit. I want to say don't say that about yourself, but I understand where you're coming from with that, because I'm the exact same way. 35, man, that's awesome. I'm 44 at this point, and my early 30s was me being a real piece of shit. My late 20s too. Okay, Xavier, no problem, man. Do you have any friends who get uber aggressive on alcohol? I used to be that friend. I always wanted to fight, always. I was always like, okay, this guy's looking at me crazy. I don't like what this guy's saying. Fuck that guy. I don't like the way this guy's talking to my girl. I don't like the way he's looking at her. Or I don't like the way this guy's looking at my friend. Or my friend who doesn't like to fight would have a problem with somebody, and I would just be like, I'm that guy. So I would just get up in that dude's face and be like, hey, you want to fight somebody? You fight me, motherfucker. That's how it would go. And now a lot of that was alcohol fueled. Tyler Betts, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, Infinity? Every situation is different. 100%. Hey, Xavier, likewise, man, likewise. Hey, it's all real over here, man. I definitely lived a fucking life. So yeah, 100%. I've been in all kinds of situations. Do you have any friends or family members who battled addiction? Yes, 100%. 100%. Some of which that, succumb to that problem, and some of which who have gotten better from it. And some of which who got better and then got worse and then got better. That's just kind of how things go. I've been lucky enough to learn from the things I saw as a kid. No worries, Xavier, go for it, man. But yeah, I've learned from a lot of shit that I've seen from as a kid, growing up, living on my own when I was young, and how people handled situations. And it took me a while, but I finally learned from it all, and I made better of it. And I know that that's going to be Dustin. He seems like the type of guy that we haven't seen this from him really. And I don't think we're going to see a lot more of this from him. Let's just hope it's not the beginning of a spiral. Let's hope that he actually gets the help he needs and is able to, what up, John? And is able to, accept that help as well. Because sometimes getting the help and asking for the help is hard enough. And then accepting the help and wanting to allow people to help you is even harder. So, didn't they just confirm RoboCop versus Fluffy? Oh, never mind. Yeah, so I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's a crazy situation, and I hate seeing Dustin in this form. Although it was entertaining to watch him talk shit and go after the cop that way, kind of. But also, it's a sad thing, and that mugshot was tough to watch if you know who Dustin Poirier is. And you feel for the guy a little bit. So yeah, man, it's crazy. But I just hope he gets better. I hope he does better and gets the help he needs, and then just continues on doing the UFC desk. He's doing a podcast with Dean Thomas and Masvidal. Not much. How about you? Oh, not much. Oh, I thought you said never mind. My bad. RoboCop versus Fluffy. Shit, did they confirm that? I didn't see that. They did confirm. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I was kind of involved in what I was saying. I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, so yeah, RoboCop versus Fluffy. That's gonna be a tough one. I think Fluffy, if he bounces back okay from the loss, I think he's got what it takes to take on RoboCop. But he's tough, man. RoboCop is tough. So. But I think that's more favorable on the Fluffy side, to be honest with you. Do you think Dustin is an actual alcoholic, or he just had a bad day? I think he might battle some problems with alcohol, but I think that he just had a bad day where it came out in public like this, and it turned into a scene because, I think he might be that type of guy who sometimes puts it on a little too much, and then something can just spark a nerve. That's kind of how I was. You know, I would be fine, I'd be having fun, and then one little thing would happen and it would just set me off. And you know, when you have a short fuse, or you're just used to being, you know, or you're the guy who knows that he can fuck somebody up, that kind of shit happens. Sometimes the people with false confidence have that happen too, and that's happened to me before too. I had false confidence. I was way too drunk trying to fight, and I got my ass whooped. That's how it was. That's how it goes. You know, I've taken my fair share of ass whoopings as well. So crazy. Oh yeah, it was in Atlanta. That's right. I forgot all about that. But yeah, man. So yeah, I think it's a culmination of both. He might have an actual problem. That's why he said he needs help, and he knows that alcohol is not the answer. But you know, and he saw his father have problems with alcohol. So yeah, that's just how it goes, man. It's tough. So hopefully Dustin accepts the help, gets the help, and is able to clear up the situation without too much. World's busiest airport, literally. Yeah, it's funny because it actually looks pretty empty that throughout this whole video. Maybe it's just that gate, but you know, even in the background, it doesn't look that busy. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get off of the Dustin Poirier stuff, and let's get to talking about the fights coming up this weekend. UFC Baku happening on Saturday, but don't forget, it is happening early. For me here in Arizona, the main card goes live at 9 a.m. Looks like the prelims are going to start at about 6 a.m. So I'm trying to juggle right now and figure out if I want to go live for the whole thing or if I just want to go live for the main card. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to kind of try to feel it out and see, and probably make my decision tomorrow night and figure out what I want to do, because 6 o'clock is not that bad, but do I want to get up again on the weekend super early? I mean, that's not, there's a difference between getting up at like 4 a.m. And then, because you know, you're just kind of like, okay, I'm getting up super early. Six is like that time where I usually wake up about 6 o'clock. So maybe I just get up a little bit earlier, like if I was going to work, and just come in here and start and actually do the entire card from start to finish. Yeah, 6 a.m. Yeah, so just check out what time it's going to start for you guys in whatever time zone you're in. But 6 a.m. for the prelims, 9 a.m. for the main card. Just be on the lookout, you know. Like I always say, make sure you like this video while you're here. That helps grow my channel. If you're not subscribed already, please do that as well. And hit that notification bell if you haven't, or if you're new here, because that'll let you know when I go live or put out any other content. So yeah, you can find out. I mean, I'll schedule the stream probably tomorrow night, so I'll schedule it, and then you can check it out on my page and go back and look again to see if I schedule it for 6 a.m. or 9 a.m. You know, Arizona time. We'll see. I'm gonna make a last minute decision. Either way, I will be live. What's up, Tua? Either way, I will be live for UFC Baku on Saturday. Rafael Fiziev versus Manuel Torres for the main event. I feel like that's a banger of a fight for that main event. And then we got Bullet Magomedov versus Michel Pereira, which can also have some fireworks for sure, because you know, of their fight styles and stuff. Obviously we don't see Bullet fighting inside the US ever. It's always outside of the US, so this is one of the few times we get to watch him fight. And he's fighting Michel Pereira. So did you watch the NBA draft last night? No, I did not. I didn't even know it was on, to be honest with you. I thought I heard some rumblings about it, but yeah, I didn't. So yeah, I feel like this is actually a pretty decent card for what it is. There's some pretty fun fights on it. So we'll definitely be going over all of that, starting with the main card, and we'll go from the bottom to the top. Oh, okay. No worries, Antoine. The Wizards going to be the best team to ever exist. Oh shit, here we go. Yeah, I wish I could follow this stuff more, but I just do not have the time. It's everything's about MMA for me. I don't know how you juggle it all, Antoine, but you definitely got a lot of knowledge about all of it, so good on you for that. It's that younger brain. All right, so yeah, let's get to these fights. And we'll start off with the first fight on the main card, which we got Abus Magomedov, another Magomedov, for versus Mikhail Zaitchuk. Obviously, Oleg Zaitchuk on a 3-fight win streak, while Magomedov's coming off a loss. And Oleg Zaitchuk, pretty exciting fighter as well. Also, a guy from UMA was drafted 10th overall. Oh, yeah. I did see that. The whole main card is actually pretty good. It definitely is, John. I'm actually excited about this card. When I wasn't initially, because I didn't really pay attention to who was fighting, and then when I really sat down and looked at the card, I was like, wait a minute, this card's kind of nice. Magomedov had a 3-fight win streak of his own before he met Joe Pyfer in his last fight and got subbed in the second round. So, but look at those numbers: 14-2 by KO TKO for Magomedov. He's 4-3 in the UFC, 7-3 by sub, 7-2 by decision. While Mikhail Zaitchuk is 10-7 in the UFC. He's got 16 wins by KO TKO and only 1 loss, but he's 1-6 by sub, so that's kind of tough. And then 5-2 by decision. You think Prime DC would beat Gane? I would think it wouldn't. I don't think he would completely dominate him, but I do think he would beat him. I would say that, because I think that his wrestling is just too good for Gane. I don't think Gane can be athletic enough. Look at, I mean, I know that I know Dan Henderson and guys like that were older and stuff, but you know, Cormier in his prime was just tossing fools like they were nothing, no matter how big they were. So I think he would get a hold of Gane and probably work him. It may not be the most exciting fight, but I think that DC would probably beat Gane. Aba's about to go on a 10-fight winning streak. Yeah, I mean, he had a 2-fight losing streak after he lost to Sean Strickland and Kyle Bahalio, but then he went on a 3-fight win streak, and now he's coming off a loss to Joe Pyfer. Oleg Zaitchuk, though, on a 3-fight win streak. He's got a lot of wins by KO TKO, like I said. But those 3 wins, he's coming off of a decision over Marc-Andre Barrio. He got a bonus in that one. He beat Gerald Meerschaert by TKO and Cedric Dumas by TKO. He also fought Shara Magomedov. That was his last loss, where he got a fight of the night bonus on that one, but he got the loss by decision. So he was on a 3-fight losing streak before he was on this 3-fight win streak. Gane couldn't stop John Jones and Francis from out wrestling him. Yeah, exactly. That's why I think DC would definitely get the best of him. But I think Gane is athletic enough and his striking's decent enough to where he, you know, maybe I don't know that it'd be like a John Jones type fight, but I definitely think that DC would beat him for sure. Oleg Zaitchuk has a lot of bonuses, win or lose. He's either involved in a fight of the night or he's got performance of the night bonuses. But yeah, he was on a 3-fight losing streak before he got on this 3-fight win streak. So I think Abus has somewhat of a more complete like MMA style, but you know, he's got the takedowns. He's got you know, he's got decent striking. He's got a 78-inch reach, which is pretty good. He's got submissions, so I think he's going to be able to, you know, give Oleg Zaitchuk a good test. But Oleg Zaitchuk is, you know, he's dangerous on the feet with his hands, and he's got 8 UFC knockout wins, and you know, he's on this 3-fight win streak. So yeah, he moved over to the Fighting Nerds camp, and he's been doing pretty good since he went over there. You think Prime DC would beat Tom? This is another one of those situations where pre-tiers. oh yeah, I was like, what did you mean by that? Infinity, never mind, I got you. Yeah, it's another one of those we haven't seen Prime Gane yet. That might be true, but I feel like this is the same thing I was talking about with Gane, where I don't feel like we've seen enough from Tom. All of his wins have been pretty quick, and yeah, Gane is getting better, it seems like. But yeah, I just don't think we've seen enough from Tom to know like how he would do against somebody like DC, where we've seen so much from him. I think it would be a tough fight. I don't know. Tom's a different type of dude. I'm not really sure about that one, to be honest, bro. Now not going to stay. You made that a good shower, but damn, on 100 degrees day, that was great. Ngannou is extremely physical. That helps a lot in grappling. Need a vision of Cain Velasquez to put it on, fools. A version of Cain Velasquez. Yeah, dude, Cain was a fucking killer back in the day. I was just listening to somebody talking about Cain. So yeah, and that reminded me of how much of a killer Cain was. Also, how did you feel about Rumble? Did you like him? Yeah, I liked Rumble a lot. He was actually one of my favorites. So it was really sad to see him, pass away. I just wish that he could have gone slimes every heavyweight. I just wish that he could, I wish that he could have, enjoyed a championship or something like that before he passed. But I mean, it's crazy to know that he fought at welterweight, middleweight, and then he went all the way up to heavyweight. And dude, just kind of in the fashion of Poatan right now, and just how big he was, and it's just crazy, man. Just to see the way his fights went out too, it was nuts. Josh Oakley reminds me of Cain with the pressure and grappling. Yeah, I mean, I could see a little bit what you mean by that, but yeah, he's a far stretch from Cain. Otherwise, like, I don't know if maybe he can evolve into that, but I mean, when Cain got knocked out a couple times, but I don't think he was ever in any really long drawn out wars like Hoka just was against Blades. So yeah, I mean, I could see where you're coming from with that, but only very little. So yeah, I think if Oleg Zaychuk can land some big shots on Magomedov before Abus gets him down, then he's got a good chance of winning. But I think if it gets to the ground, with Oleg Zaychuk's record on the ground, only 1 win there and 6 losses, Magomedov is crafty enough on the ground to be able to catch him in a submission. So we'll see how this fight goes, but I think with Magomedov's reach, it's going to be tough for Oleg Zaychuk to get inside. But if he does, he's going to land some big shots on Magomedov. And I think that if it turns into a slugfest, it's definitely going to be leaning in Oleg Zaychuk's way. But Abus is no slouch either. So who do you think you pick in Velasquez versus who did you pick in? It was always Velasquez for me in any of his fights, honestly. Gone lost to Volkov. Fedor, DC, Stipe, Jones, Pineda, Aspinall, Shamil, Kane, Brock, Silva, Randy Couture all get slimed by Gon. Holy shit, Tyler. I don't know about that. I don't think Gon's touching a prime Kane, but that's just me. Randy, yeah. Anyway, moving on, we got Ikram Aliskerov versus Bruno Ferreira, and another decent fight here, as we got Aliskerov at 4-1 in the UFC. Ferreira's 6-3. Shamil is snuck in. 7-2 by KO TKO for Ikram, 5-1 for Bruno, 5-0 for sub for Aliskerov, 4-0 by decision, and he's on a 2-fight win streak, while Fajeda's on he's 5-1 by sub, 1-0 by decision, and he's coming off a loss. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar in records, other than they're pretty similar in records all the way around. Decision's a little more for Ikram, but neither one of them are lost by decision, and Aliskerov's never lost by submission either. So there's one heavyweight who could be gone. Ikram can be a dark horse for sure. All right, Tyler, what do you got? Here we go. You're drawing it out. John Jones would beat Tai Tuivasa. I'm blanking. God damn it, Tyler. All right, well, we'll move on.
Get your fucking shit together, my God.
But yeah, Ferreira versus Aliskerov, all that hype. The only thing I was missing was the actual drum roll. Yeah, and John Jones would beat Tai Tuivasa. I think everybody's beating Tai Tuivasa at this point. I hate to say that because I'm a big fan of Tai, but Tom, Josh, Volkov, Sergey Blades would be gone. Damn. Yeah, so let's see. Aliskerov 17-2 overall, while Fajeda's 15-3. You know, Aliskerov's got he's somewhat of an explosive striker, definitely some strong wrestling, and he's on a 2-fight win streak since he lost to Robert Whittaker. And you know, he's got good takedowns. He's got, you know, pretty good takedown accuracy overall, so that's going to be something to watch out for. And then Bruno Fajeda, he's got 9 knockout wins, 5 by submission, and 11 first-round finishes. So, you know, he comes at you with some pressure and aggressively, and you know, he leaves some openings for the grappling in there. So that's one thing that's going to give him a problem in this fight. And I feel like that might be where Aliskerov's able to take, you know, to take advantage of him, get him in the top, you know, get in the top position on Bruno, and, you know, land some ground and pound, or just stay in control, possibly slip a submission in there somewhere. But if it stays standing, Fajeda's going to give him some problems, and, you know, it could be an interesting fight on the feet as well. It just depends on where Aliskerov decides he wants to take it, I think, unless Fajeda gets in on him first and dictates the fight by keeping it on the feet. Marty Lewis would beat the fuck out of Gon. Holy shit. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Damn, son.
Do you think Ikram is a bust like in NBA, NFL teams? I'm not sure I'm following you on that. Oh, terms like in NFL, NBA, NFL terms. I don't know, man. Honestly, I just feel like he hasn't done anything crazy enough to make everybody want to talk about him. You know what I mean? Only hardcores know about. Fuck. So, yeah, I think that's the problem with Ikram, is he's just not so well. I mean, neither one of these guys really are until they fight. You know what I mean? I feel like you don't think about these guys until they fight. That's kind of how both of them are. So this is a middleweight bout, and do you remember this? Go back. Oh, what's up? Welcome back, Xavier. The Mart. Oh man, Tyler. Yeah, I lost track here. What the fuck did I do with my notes here? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't know really who I'm leaning towards in this one. I made my picks, and I'm gonna, you know, I'll show them when I do the fight wheel predictions. So I don't remember who I picked in this fight though. So that should be a good surprise for me when we get to that part too. It looks like Fajeda's the slight underdog at plus 185, while Aliskerov's a moderate favorite at minus 220. For Magomedov and Oleg Zaitchuk, it looks like it's near even at minus 120 for Magomedov and plus 100 for Oleg Zaitchuk. So those are your odds so far. Let's move on to the next fight, and that is Asu Almabayev versus Energy Charles Johnson. This one happening at flyweight. We got Almabayev 23-3 overall, 6-1 in the UFC, 3-2 by KO TKO, 10-0 by sub, which is impressive. 10-1 by decision as well. So most of his fights are won on the ground or by decision. He is on a 2-fight win streak. Charles Johnson 19-8 overall, 8-6 in the UFC. Marty Lewis would turn Gon into a campfire story. Johnson 7-1 by KO TKO, 4-0 by sub. So he's never been sub, so that's a good sign, because that means you know, while Asu has 10 wins by submission, Charles Johnson's never been sub. So is this going to be his first time getting subbed by Asu, or will that give him it's interesting, Energy has an Audi. What the the fuck, man?
Another one.
He's 8-7 by decision. He's coming off a win himself. So I think this is gonna be, you know, another battle of like wrestling, grappling, with some high volume striking mixed in from Charles Johnson. I think Asu Almabayev it might be too much for Charles Johnson, but Charles Johnson's one of those guys that just surprises you with things. He just comes out looking good from the start, and you know, he's busy throughout the whole fight, and you know, he kind of switches stances. He pushes the pace with the striking, and you know, he lands a lot of volume too. So he definitely has pulled off some upsets in the past, and you know, the biggest challenge for him is going to be keeping it on the feet, staying away from those submission attempts, and staying off the ground. Charles Johnson versus his barber. Yeah, no shit. Who the hell is looking at that? Oh man. So yeah, I feel like this is just these three fights in the beginning are all kind of grappler versus striker type fights for the most part, if you look at the overall perspective of all three of them. And I think Johnson is, you know, he's got great speed and movement, and then, you know, he throws a lot of volume, and you know, he can stuff some takedowns and stuff like that too. But Almabayev is relentless with those takedowns. He can drag him into deep waters and really, you know, be relentless with the grappling. So if Asu can kind of control him in the first couple, you know, round and a half or so, he's gonna wear out Charles Johnson and be able to you know, if he's able to stay away from getting caught by some of those big shots that Charles Johnson can throw at you, you know, he could probably take him down and try for that submission, if not just control him on the ground. But as we saw, Charles Johnson hasn't lost by submission yet, so Asu might, you know, be the first one to submit him, or else it could prove to be difficult, and he's gonna have to you know, just try to take it to a decision, which he's won a lot of those as well. Charles Johnson's last win was over Bruno Silva by decision. It was a split decision as well. He's been kind of on a win-loss streak. His last big win streak was 4 in a row. He's had a few bonuses mixed in there as well. And his 2 losses recently have been to Alex Perez by TKO and then Ramazan Tamirov by decision. So, yeah, a lot of his losses are by decision, but a lot of Asu Almabayev's wins are by decision. So Johnson's got a couple things up against him here, because Almabayev seems to win by submission or decision a lot. He did get TKO'd by Manuel Torres back in 2025. That was his last loss, but he's been on a 2-fight win streak since then, with a decision win over Jose Ochoa by unanimous decision, and then a submission loss to Alex Perez by guillotine. So that was his one submission loss. Yeah, and his only loss in the UFC. Oh wait, I'm sorry, what am I saying? That was a submission win. He doesn't have any losses by submission. Oh fuck, I was reading that wrong, sorry. His only loss in the UFC was to Manuel Torres by TKO. Yeah, I said that. Okay, so anyway, yeah, I think it's an interesting fight. I feel like this has potential to be a good one, especially being in that flyweight division. You know, these guys can really turn it up and keep the energy throughout. So it's a 12-hour drive from his eyebrows to his hairline. Oh man, Johnson's eyebrows have a restraining order. Holy shit, I missed it all, man. I'm sorry. That's fucking hilarious. Oh man. How do you feel about the guys who fly to Turkey to fix their hairline? I mean, you do what you gotta do, man. I say I'm all for it if that's what you want to do and you want that hairline to be better. Shit, I've seen some pretty good outcomes from it, but I've also seen some weird shit. I don't know for sure if they went to the same place, but anything coming out of Turkey seems to be doing pretty well as far as the hair transplant stuff goes. So I say do it if you're interested in keeping your hair. I shave my head anyway, even though I'm not losing my hair, so I don't care about it. Turkish hairlines. Yeah, so I think this should be a pretty interesting fight, and yeah, definitely in the middle of the card. we'll see how it goes. Guys, chill. His hairline will get better. It's just under construction. Oh fuck. Yeah, if he chooses his hair to be that way, it's like holy shit. Anyway, let's move on. We got Nazim Sadikov versus Mateus Camilo. Another heavy-handed fighter in Nazim. We've seen some big knockouts from him early on. Of course, he suffered a loss in his last fight, but he's only 1-0 by decision. He's 8-1 by KO TKO, 2-1 by sub. He's 11-2 overall and 4-1 in the UFC. Camilo, pretty similar. He's 10-3 overall, 1-1 in the UFC. 4-0 by KO TKO, never been stopped on the feet, and he hasn't lost any decisions either. He's 4-0 there. He's got a losing record by submission, 2-3, so it's not too bad, but he is coming off a win. Sadikov coming off that loss to Faraz Zaim by TKO in the second round, so that was a tough one for him. Before that, he had a fight of the night bonus against Nicholas Moda where he won by TKO. He was on a pretty good win streak there with 3 bonuses total, and 4 wins in a row. He had a majority decision draw over Slava Claus, but that was a fight of the night bonus, so they still got paid on that one. He beat Ismail Bonfim by TKO, as well as Nicholas Moda. He beat Terrence McKinney by sub and Evan Elder by TKO, and then he won his Contender Series fight in the third round by TKO as well. So yeah, some pretty decent showings for Sadikov since he got into the UFC, and he's going to be bouncing back from his first loss. So we'll see how that first loss, how that first loss has affected him. Obviously that wasn't his first loss of his career, but the first loss in the UFC, and I always wait to see how they bounce back from that kind of stuff. I know I say it all the time, but Camilo is coming off a win over Slava Claus, who went to a draw with Sadikov. So not much to go off of there, but it was a unanimous decision win for Camilo on that one. His only loss was to Gabe Green by submission. And those are his only 2 fights those are his only 2 fights in the UFC. So 1-1, he's going to be looking to make it 2-1, while Sadikov is going to look to bounce back from that loss and get back in the win column. So, with that first loss of his career, it's like, I don't think it's going to send him back too much. I feel like it wasn't, it was a TKO loss, but it's one of those that, he can probably overcome pretty easily. And I feel like, he's a high pressure fighter, and he's got some really good power in his striking. He's got 8 career knockout wins, so and he's got some decent takedown defense too. But Camilo, 25 years old, he's still kind of developing, but he's got some wins by knockout. Like I said, he's got some bonuses in there as well. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight. And I think Sadikov, it's kind of somewhat of a hometown crowd for him. So he's going to be trying to get back in that win column after that first loss. And I think he's going to be hungry to get back in there. So yeah, I think he's going to be super motivated, but we'll see if Camilo can stop him from getting that win. And that brings us over to Shara Bullet versus Michelle Pereira. You think Prime in the UFC varies based on division? I just think I think it just kind of varies in general by fighter. Not, all the way to the level of just a fighter, not just a division. You know what I mean? But I do think that guys might stay in their prime a little longer in the heavyweight division and stuff because they're not cutting a lot of weight, and they can kind of hang around a lot longer in the heavyweight divisions. It seems like the lower weight guys move up in weight, and then they kind of become too small for divisions or something like that, or they lose out on some power and stuff, and it just doesn't work out for them when they move up. So then it just kind of wears on them because they can't really make the drop back down and cut the weight again. So it's all a toss-up, man. Plus, and then you got guys who get older and drop down in weight classes, which is kind of strange. So it doesn't always work the same for everyone. Did you guys ever watch UFC Brain Rot like last year? Depends. What do you mean? Is anybody watching The Ultimate Fighter, by the way? I haven't watched any of it. I think there's been like 3 episodes, but I heard that one of the fights with one of the girls was pretty interesting. But yeah, I haven't really watched any of it, so nope, I have no idea what you're talking about, Tyler. Isn't it WMMA? Yeah, I mean, I know it was a girl in one of the fights recently. I just haven't paid enough attention to it at all. What do you think is prime for lightweight? Are you talking age-wise, or do you think that Justin is in his prime after defeating Ilya? No, I think Justin was in his prime early in his UFC career, like when he first came in. But yeah, I usually and 37, yeah. I used to watch Tough all the time. It just the last couple seasons have just not done anything for me, and this one has gone under the radar so much. Boom, US scored. Oh, are they playing right now? I didn't even know. Dirty Reg, what's going on? I think Justin is in his prime right now, at the edge of it. I mean, if he's in any kind of a prime, I don't know how you can call his prime though. Like, you know, some of the losses he's suffered and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I think he just had a little bit of a resurgence here that he's you know, kind of getting back into. I wouldn't call it his prime though. I think his prime was when he was knocking fools out in the World Series of Fighting, and then when he came into the UFC, I feel like it was kind of the tail end of his actual prime. I think now it's just like a resurgence. He's gonna have a little, you know, a little path of winning again. That he's, you know, because he's tough. But I don't know that I'd call it his prime right now. But maybe, I guess you could. Who knows? Anyway, back to this fight. Shara Bullet versus Michelle Pereira. You know, Pereira's that guy who was doing backflips, trying to land on people and hurt them. And then you got Shara Bullet, who just comes at you fucking recklessly. But Pereira hasn't really been doing any of that crazy shit in the recent past. So we'll see what kind of a fight. He went on some pretty long streaks for a minute there, but now they're both only coming off of 1 win. Shara Bullet was doing well for a while too, and then he suffered his first loss to MVP. But you know, Shara Bullet is a brain rot fighter. Okay. But yeah, I memean, they're both pretty much strikers. Look at the overall record for Pereira. 32-14 is crazy. Shara Bullet 16-1, 5-1 in the UFC, 10-5 for Pereira, 12-0 for Shara Bullet, while Pereira's 11-3. Shara's never been to the no fights have gone to the ground basically for him, judging off of that record by sub. No wins, no losses, so who knows. Pereira does have 8 wins by submission though, and 4-1 by decision for Magomedov, 12-8 for Pereira, both coming off a win, like I said. And yeah, I mean, 12 wins by KO TKO and never been stopped on the feet. So he lands a lot of strikes, you know, a lot of significant strikes, and you know, he took his first loss and rebound with a win. So and he beat Marc-Andre Barriault in his last fight. Let's see. Yeah, Marc-Andre Barriault, and he lost to MVP. But in his past 3, 4, 5, in his 5 fights in the UFC, 6 fights in the UFC, he has 4 bonuses. Fight of the night, performance, fight of the night, performance. So 2-2. But he lost to Michael Venom Page in between those wins. But he beat Bruno Silva by decision in his first fight. And then Antonio Tricoli by TKO, Mikel Zaechuk by decision. Petrosian by TKO with that double spinning back fist. Crazy shit. Lost to Michael Venom Page and then beat Marc-Andre Barrios. So, yeah, he's definitely an exciting fighter. He goes for it. Michel Pereira is the same way. He's coming off a win over Zach Reese. Before that, he was on a 3-fight losing streak to Kyle Dawkins by TKO. Abus, who's on this card as well, by decision. And then Fluffy by TKO. Before that, though, he was on a pretty big win streak. He had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wins in a row with 4 bonuses mixed in, 5 bonuses mixed in there. So, you know, he definitely gets after it as well. And I feel like this is the makings of an exciting fight. Just the way that both of these guys fight, their styles. Yeah, my daughters were on I think we talked about that last time. My daughters did play soccer. I was like the coach for a little bit, which is kind of weird because I don't really know a lot about soccer. But yeah, I was a little kid, so it was fun. You think Chara's good enough to be ranked? I don't think Chara can be ranked until he can get into the fucking US to fight. Because how are you going to be ranked and only fight like once a year? Twice at the most. Because you're not going to be able to land on the guys to be able to keep that ranking. You're not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to match up those, you know what I mean? They're not going to be able to match up those kind of matchups. They're not going to be able to schedule that correctly. I don't see how it would work, but you never know. But yeah, Pereira, I mean, he's crazy athletic because, you know, he could do all those backflips and crazy shit like that. But, you know, it seems like he's calmed a lot of that stuff down, but he's still explosive with his movement. And, you know, he's got kind of unorthodox type of attacks. But his cardio is in question a lot of times. So, you know, Char Bullet, similar, explosive as hell, definitely has some power. And he's a high volume striker. And, you know, he's definitely going to be throwing kicks and punches. He's going to be doing all of it. When was your first time golfing? Oh, shit. I don't remember specifically my first time, but I know when I was like end of elementary and into middle school, I was playing a lot. So somewhere around there. Brother. Char, best grappling, brother. What was it? Yo, real shit. How is Ali Abdelaziz allowed in America? Fuck, I don't know, man. Yeah, so I mean, this might be one of those fights that could be a fight of the night. You know what I mean? Especially with how many bonuses that some of these guys have had between them. Especially with a lot of the fight of the night bonuses that Mikel Zaechuk's had. I mean, Michel Pereira, sorry. I got mixed up. Similar names. But yeah, this will be going on in the 185 division, middleweight, and should be a good one for the co-main event. All right, no worries, Infinity. Yeah, my dad was a big golfer back in the day, so that's pretty much, he got me into it and I liked it. So yeah, so that brings us to the main event, Fiziev versus Torres. And yeah, this one, I mean, it's pretty good for a main event, you know what I mean? Fiziev versus Torres. Fiziev, you know, he's coming off a loss, but he's fought a lot of big names, so he's got that strength to schedule. And then Manuel Torres, he's on a 2-fight win streak. Definitely an exciting fighter. 9-1 by KO TKO, 7-2 by sub, 1-0 by decision. He's 5-1 in the UFC, 17-3 overall. Fiziev is 7-5 in the UFC, 8-3 by KO TKO, 1-0 by sub, 4-2 by decision. Viking versus taco vendor. What? Yeah, I feel like this one has potential too for fight of the night. I mean, these guys can, you know, Fiziev's always involved in a crazy ass fight, and you know, he gets busted up, but he still survives, or he definitely takes somebody out. But he hasn't had a lot of luck as of late. I mean, lost to Mauricio Hufi in his last fight by TKO. He beat Ignacio Bahamondes by decision, but was on a 3-fight losing streak before that. 2 of those losses being to the now champion Justin Gaethje, and also a loss to Mateusz Gamrot. So both of those losses to Gaethje were by decision, but they They both had a bonus for a fight of the night bonus on both of them, which is insane. Before that, he beat Rafael dos Anjos. I mean, Fiziev has so many. I'm looking at this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bonuses since 2020. So I mean, that's pretty crazy. And he had a pretty big win streak from 2019 through 2022. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. There was a 6-fight win streak where he had all bonuses in every single one of those fights. Oh no, I'm sorry. 5 of the 6 had bonuses. So yeah, that's just crazy. So Fiziev's one of those guys. He's definitely gonna come out ready to go and trying to get a big win. Torres first round finish. We all got Torres. Only I got Torres. Tyler hates Torres. I want to see Justin get another shot at Max. Yeah, I mean, can Crusher. Manuel by knockout in the first round. Man, you think so? I think Fiziev is I think he's durable enough to make it past the first round. At least. I'm not sure if he's gonna win, but I think he'll make it past the first. Justin, another shot at Max. I think that's a possibility if Max beats Conor. Yeah, I don't think I think both these guys are durable enough to last past the first round, but you never know. They get into a big ass firefight. Shit. Do you think Conor wins if he gets a title shot at if Conor wins, he gets a title shot at lightweight? I don't know, man. It's like, how do you justify a title shot at lightweight when you're fighting at welterweight? You know, and you've been gone for 4 or 5 years. Like, that's crazy. But it's Conor, so you never know. Justin losing the belt in the first defense. Oh fuck. Do you think Fiziev does? Oh my god, Tyler. Fuck. I don't know about all that, but what I do know is that this should be a pretty exciting fight with with both of the fighting styles in these guys. Fiziev has relentless pressure, obviously, you know, and he's got good counter striking, and he's obviously going to be in his home crowd as well. I think he's fought in Baku before and won. Maybe not. Maybe he lost. I don't remember when the last one was, but anyway, yeah, I mean, Torres is one of those guys though that can kind of bring everything back to Conor's never making 155. Yeah, I think it's gonna be tough to get Conor back down to 155, to be honest. But if they give him a title shot, maybe. But he's only got 2 fights on his record. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, man. We have to see what happens in this fight. That's really how it goes. So, yeah, Torres is, you know, he gets in the chaotic, like, firefight type fight, and you know, Fiziev is best when he's controlling the range and he pushes his opponents, you know, and is able to land like good technical combinations. So whose fighting style is going to take over, and who's going to be able to push the pressure and you know, be able to land all the big shots, or are they just going to trade and see who falls first? That's going to really be the question. I feel like it's you know, I feel like it's definitely an interesting matchup. He was okay. The Volk versus Lopez 3 card, I think. Conor might fight Sean Strickland at the MSG show if he wins. Yeah, I don't know about all that. But you never know. With Conor, you never know what the fuck they're gonna do, honestly. Let's take a look at these prelims. A lot of no pictures in there because a lot of newer fighters. But and a lot of difficult names to a lot of difficult names to pronounce, that's for damn sure. Starting with Tahir Abdullayev versus Jefferson Nascimento. Obviously Abdullayev, hometown crowd behind him. He is going up against Nascimento, who's undefeated at 13-0. Abdullayev is 21-3. It doesn't look like they have odds. I was curious about the odds there. Abdullayev, though, making his UFC debut, as well as Nascimento, I believe. Yeah, with that no picture. That's why I couldn't find a damn picture. He fought in LFA before, though, so at least he's got that behind him. But yeah, 5-0 by TKO, 3-0 by sub, 5-0 by decision for Nascimento and Abdulayev. They both kind of have finishing power and able to win fights in various ways. 9-0 by TKO for him, 7-1 by sub, and 5-2 by decision for Abdulayev. So it should be an interesting first fight in the welterweight division. We might actually get McGregor versus Perry in BKFC late next year. I don't know, man. I don't know. A lot of stuff is kind of up in the air when it comes to Conor. There's a lot of things that could possibly happen, and there's a lot of things that might not happen at all. So, yeah, I'm just waiting to see what happens with this fight. He's got to make it to this fight and then see how what the outcome is. Obviously, he's not like completely washed if he doesn't win, because they're still going to give him something. He's got one more fight, but who knows? Who knows? A lot of things can happen in between all that. So, next up, we got Bezkat Almakhan versus Jean Matsumoto. This one definitely has potential to be a great fight. Almakhan, he dropped Umar Nurmagomedov early in his, in his UFC debut, and he has good explosive power. Matsumoto's kind of one of those guys that'll suffocate you with the grappling and has relentless wrestling pressure. So Almakhan's going to be looking to keep it on the feet and use that power on the feet with his 12-3 record, while Matsumoto at 17-2 is going to be looking to get it down to the mat and take control over there. So that should be an interesting one at bantamweight. Daniel Donchenko versus Theodore Berggren, I believe. Berggren making his UFC debut against Donchenko, who came in, I think, a couple fights ago. Donchenko's 13-2 overall, and yeah, he's 2-0 in the UFC. Got the TKO win over Rodrigo Cezinando in the first round in his first fight, and then a decision win over Alex Morono in his last fight. Berggren is coming off of a 2-fight win streak as well, with 2 TKO wins, so should be a good one there. Donchenko seems like a pretty decent fighter. We'll see what he does with the guy making his debut. We got Spiritual McGregor back before GTA 6, by the way. You think Matsumoto has real potential? I don't know. That's one of the guys I feel like I've seen him fight in a little bit here and there and paid attention, and he seems like a good fighter. I just think it's too early to, I don't know. It seems like he's got potential. Is it real, or is it just, the beginning of something, or is he going to drop off? Who knows? I'm not really good at like figuring that kind of shit out. I just kind of, if I see something, nothing has really stood out to me with him. He seems like a great fighter, but at this point, the sun might die before GTA 6. Didn't the pre-sale just happen? Isn't that today or yesterday? The pre-sale happened. So that's promising, right? I thought I saw something about that. But anyway, yeah, moving on. We got Khan Ofli versus Javier Reyes. Ofli is usually an exciting fighter as well. Constant pressure coming from him. He's well-rounded in the fundamentals, and Reyes is a little bit bigger, longer range, and striking with some finishing power. So if Reyes can, keep the fight at distance, he'll do, he'll probably have some success. But if Ofli can get inside and make it ugly, put the pressure on him, he could have the momentum in his Almakhan versus Matsumoto fight of the night. Shit, I could see it. I feel like that's kind of a sleeper fight for sure. Ofli is 2-2 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight win streak with a submission and a decision win in his last couple fights. And then Reyes is 1-0 in the UFC, with his only win being against Douglas Silva de Andrade. It's a TKO by ground and pound. So should be an interesting matchup there. That brings us over to the next part of the prelims, and that is Nursultan Ruziboyev versus Andrei Puleyev. Ruziboyev's 36-9, Puleyev's 10-4. Those crazy ass records. 4-1 for Ruziboyev in the UFC though. He's on a 2-fight win streak with a TKO win over Eric Mekonico and then a decision win over Dustin Stoltzfus in his last fight. Puleyev is 1-2 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Atiba Gauthier. He beat Nick Klein by TKO and then lost to Christian Leroy Duncan by decision. So he's kind of only lost to the bigger names, you know, in that weight class. But yeah, we'll see how he does against Ruziboyev. I think that's going to be a tough one for him. Next up, we have Abdul Rahman Yakayev versus Julius Walker. Yakayev is Yakayev 9-0 overall, 2-0 in the UFC. His 2 wins are both by submission in the first round and both by rear naked choke. Rafael Carcario and Brenton Hebero. So we're looking at a serious grappler and submission artist on the ground in Yakayev, while Julius Walker 7-2 overall, 1-2 in the UFC. He's coming off a TKO loss to Dustin Jacoby. He had a decision win over Carcaria as well, and then lost to Alonzo Menefield by decision, but he got a fight of the night bonus in that one. So looks like he's 2-0 by sub. He's never been subbed, but Yakayev seems to be a pretty high level submission artist, so he might want to keep that one off the ground. Yakayev super lock, yeah, it seems like it, man. Do you think height is an advantage in MMA? I don't think so. I think if you know, the height and the reach is only an advantage if you know how to use it correctly. But if you have an opponent that knows how to work with those types of advantages for the opposite fighter and knows how to get inside on you quickly and hurt you with punches or take you down, then yeah, the height doesn't even matter. So it's only an advantage in some positions, but not a lot. I just don't. Nursultan is like 6'5". Yeah. That's true. But I mean, I've seen plenty of times when the taller guy just gets worked, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's harder for the taller guy to land on the shorter guy as well. So it's a toss-up. I think it's more about the skills of the fighter, not really the stature for a lot of, for the most part. So, and then last but not least, we have Farman Hassanov versus Eric Nolan. Hassanov 5-0 overall, making his UFC debut. He's coming off of 2 TKO wins in a row, but he's on a 5-fight win streak with 4 out of the 5 being TKO wins, all in the first round except for 1, and then 1 decision mixed in there. So he fought in LFA before. Eric Nolan is 8-4 overall. He's 0-1 in the UFC, with his loss being to Baisinger Susukairev, which is a tough one there. He lost by submission. Before that, though, he had a few TKO wins in a row in Cage Fury, and he was 8-3 there. He was a champ. He's never been stopped on the feet, but he's 2-2 by sub and 2-2 by decision. So that's your last fight on the prelims. Hassanov. Yeah, I mean, Eric Nolan 0-1 in the UFC, that's tough. So he's going to try to get his first win against a guy who's undefeated and coming in to make a big name for himself in the UFC. So yeah, Hassanov from Azerbaijan as well, an American top team. So, good wrestler, shit like that. It's going to be tough for Nolan, I think. But yeah, that about does it for that. Let's check out the picks. So I went with Fiziev, Shara Bullet, Nazim Sadikov, Asu Almabayev, Ikram Askarov, and Mikhail Zaychuk for my picks for the main card. We'll see what the Fight Wheel has for predictions for us. Obviously, the Fight Wheel totally random, and I just picked the main cards. So let me get this popped up here so we can spin the wheel, see what we got for Fight Wheel predictions, and then we'll get out of here and we'll see how I do. The Fight Wheel won last week with being 4-1, I think, and I was 3-2, so kind of squeaked it out there. But the Fight Wheel predicted better than I did as far as the fights went last week. So let's see what it has for us for UFC Baku. Totally random fight wheel predictions. We'll see how they do up against my actual predictions for the main card only. And we start with Bruno Ferreira to beat Ikram Aliskerov. Sorry. Oh no, did it stop? Oh no. I'm sorry. It did stop on Ferreira. So already the fight wheel going against me. If I can get this to highlight like it's supposed to. What the fuck, man? Sometimes deleting these names is the pain in the ass. Okay, so fight wheel predicts Bruno Ferreira to beat Ikram Aliskerov. Do you think Bruno has peaked or is he still developing? I think anybody can get better. It's just a matter of how much better. So yeah, I'm going with Ikram on that one as well. I think he's just too inconsistent. So unless he pulls that together, I'm not sure he's gonna go much further. Maybe just have some good wins here and there, but I think he's got potential to keep developing. It's just, will he? You know what I mean? He seems kind of like a guy who's just setting his ways in the one style of fight that he has right now, but you never know. All right, next fight pick for the fight wheel. Random picks for UFC Baku to see how they do against mine. Abus Magomedov, again, going against me to beat Mikhail Zaechuk in the first fight on the main card. I'm just going to go with shortening the names because, yeah, it gets a little bit annoying. A lot of long names in this one. I only copy and pasted Oleg Zaechuk for mine. That's why it's there. Manuel Torres. Again, the fight wheel's just going to go completely against me this week. It's going to make it interesting, I guess. So, main card picked for the fight wheel. And the fight wheel's predicting Manuel Torres over Fiziev, which I can see happening. So, I mean, it's not completely wrong. But I did pick Fiziev, so we'll see. He's in his hometown. Home country, I should say. You should bet then. I don't know, man. We'll see. I am doing the watch party, so maybe it would be smart to bet. Michel Pereira to beat Sharp Bullet. So that one's interesting as well. Going against me again. So yeah, we're really going to be on. I mean, we got 2 fights left. We'll see if it continues on this going completely against all my picks. 2 fights left for UFC Baku. I picked Nazim Sadikov, and it looks like that's going to be the first one it agrees with me on. All right, Nazim Sadikov to beat Mateus Camilo. So that's 1 fight left. We got Charles Energy Johnson versus Asu Amabayev. I'm about to put a PFL UFC parlay together. Maybe I will finally hit one. Nice. Have you ever cooked breakfast for a morning card? Not really. Bet against that one. Ooh, Charles Johnson to beat Asu Amabayev. I could see that happening as well. So I can't say that's a bad pick, but I definitely picked Almabayev on that one. So yeah, all right. Well, that does it for the fight wheel prediction. So win against me on everything but one. So I got Fiziev for the main event. The fight wheel predicted Manuel Torres. I went with Sharp Bullet. Fight wheel went with Michel Pereira. We both picked Nazim Sadikov for the third fight. I picked Asu Almabayev to beat Charles Johnson. The fight wheel predicted Johnson. I got Aliskerov over Ferreira. The fight wheel predicted Ferreira. And then I got Oleg Zaechuk to beat Abus Magomedov. And the fight wheel predicted Abus to win. So those are your fight wheel predictions and my predictions. We'll see if I can go, I'm either going to go undefeated or I'm going to be completely defeated. I don't know. It could be a mix of both, but it should be interesting to see how this one works considering we only agreed on one. So One of us is gonna have a horrible record, the other one's gonna have a good one. But yeah, that's it for the Fight Wheel predictions for UFC Baku, and that does it for the preview of UFC Baku as well. Oh shit, I just completely, what did I do here? Hold on one second. I got way too ahead of myself and I started playing the outro music before I even switched over. Anyway, yeah, UFC Baku, gonna have the watch party on Saturday. The only surprise will be if I'm gonna be live for the whole entire card, including the prelims, or if I'm just gonna be live for the main card. I will definitely, yeah, I'm streaming for sure, Antoine. It's just a matter of whether it's for the main card or for the entire card. Just be on the lookout for that schedule. I will, what time? 9 o'clock for us, Infinity, for the main card. But if I go live for the prelims, that starts at 6 a.m. So I'll be live at one of those times, just not sure which one. I want to try to get up for the whole thing. I haven't done pancakes or waffles more. I think I like pancakes more probably, but I haven't really gotten in and done a stream for an entire card, including prelims. That's a long time, but maybe this will be the first one because it just kind of happens to land on a time that I could probably do. So I'm gonna make up my mind by the end of tomorrow, and I will schedule the stream so you guys can just keep an eye out for that scheduling and just take a look back at the channel and, you know, find out when I'm gonna go live. Either way, please hit the like button here while you're here now, and that helps out my channel. I'd appreciate that. And then subscribe if you haven't already, if you liked what you saw, and hit that notification bell so you always know when I go live. That's it for me. Don't miss UFC Baku on Saturday. Remember, it starts early. Just Google UFC event. It'll tell you what time it is in your area, and make sure you come back for the watch party on Saturday. That's it for me. I'm out of here. Take it easy. Peace.